How's it going, people? This is CJ here, live at AwesomeCon, and I am here with the legendary Keith Williams. How's it going, sir?
Good, doing good. Hi, guys.
I just put legendary. It's just like when you grow up with somebody that does the materials that you love growing up, it's like, come on, like that's intake the material. I mean, me, the Phantom. Like,
wow.
Look, my co-hosts give me crap for the Phantom. I'm like, no, the Phantom is great. I love it.
Hey, Phantom.
I love it.
Yes, absolutely. First, actually superhero character that wore like the spandex suit. I don't know what it was back then, but it's spandex now, and the underwear on the outside and the white eyes. You know, he's the first.
So, what got you into doing what you're doing?
Oh wow, just reading comic books. I love them. My grandma gave me my first comic book. It's a Batman comic. I don't know, I might have been like 8 years old or something like that. And every weekend she'd come back with more comic books, all the way up until the time when I was old enough to go and buy my own. And then she said, "Oh, well, you're on your own now."
So was it pretty tough actually kind of breaking into the business, or how did that go?
Yeah. It wasn't easy. You know, like I went to school of visual arts, studied under Will Eisner, who created the Spirit. And I can't say that it wasn't easy, but I was fortunate enough to know. I have a friend, Howard Perlin, who is Don Perlin's son. Who Don Perlin worked for Marvel.
Okay.
Did Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, and a few other books. And he was also art director there for a while too. And he asked me if I was interested in meeting him, and I said, "Yeah, sure." Found out that he was about 2 blocks away from where I lived in the projects, and was able to go over and show him the Marvel tryout book that had John Romita Jr. Blue Line work in there, and he looked at my stuff and he saw that I had some promise as an inker, and it sort of started from then. I was a paraprofessional at South Shore High School at that time, and he gave me a call one night and asked me if I was interested in doing background inking work for one of the inkers at Marvel, and I said I was going to say yeah. So I ended up working with Mike Esposito, who was doing Marvel Team Up at the time. So he was the inker and Ron Friends was the penciler. And it went off from there. I just made sure I had the stuff done well and on time. And yeah, cool. And that was in '82. So it's like 2 years after I graduated from visual arts.
Oh, wow.
That I got my first gig.
For as long as you've been in the business, has it been very kind of surreal seeing like the growth of conventions and the new fans, old, young, just kind of growing over the years up to now?
Oh, well, yeah, I went to conventions back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, so that's, I went in the early 90s, so as a kid, so it's definitely surreal. Like, wow, you grew up, like, yo.
Really is. It was amazing being able to go to those shows and meeting artists. You know, like they were in these little rooms and you just go in there and, you know, you ask them, could you draw me something? And, you know, like I had Mike Kaluta draw me a shadow. And I didn't have to pay anything.
I mean,
it was free.
Benefits.
It was amazing. It was amazing. But no, it's incredible how big they're growing and that they're still growing and that there's a convention basically every weekend.
Yeah.
When it used to be you had to wait like a whole year for a show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anticipation.
So the anticipation for a year, and then you go see that show and it's absolutely great. But now you can go every weekend if you can find them, and you know, like this is part of my job is going to conventions. So
that's pretty good.
Every weekend my card is full, at least at the moment.
All right, so there's 2 projects I wanted to talk to you about mainly. So obviously the Phantom. What was that like actually being a part of that whole franchise, that book and everything?
Never thought I would do that.
So that was just kind of like luck.
Yeah, it was. It was so wild. I was just getting off of Webber's Spider-Man, and Danny Fingeroff, the editor of the Spider-Man books, asked me if I was interested in interviewing for a job at King Features to do the Phantom, and I said, yeah, sure, I'd like to think about it a little bit. I went to my old teacher. I went actually to Will Eisner. We had lunch, and I said, what do you think of me, doing a comic strip, inking a comic strip, while also working at Marvel and stuff like that. And he said, "Hey, if you got the time, if you can do it,
Yeah, yeah.
just go ahead, And he, he gave me the push that I needed, to not be afraid to, try something different because comic strips are different.
Oh yeah.
I was doing a weekly, and it was like six comic strips a week, Monday to Saturday, and it was every week, and you had to make sure you had that stuff in on time, or if you miss a week, that would be bad.
Cool.
So so it's like no time off, just doing that. But it was absolutely great. I got to meet Lee Falk.
Mhm.
And it was incredible. He lived off of Central Park West.
Wow.
This is what you get when you do comic strips, man. But he did other stuff too. He wrote plays.
Hop skipping away, just knowing all the creatives within that space.
I'm telling you, it was absolutely amazing meeting this guy and going up to his apartment that he had, and it was just incredible. And he was always very nice to me, and and that's how I got the job. I had to show him my stuff also. Jay Kennedy, who was working at King Features at the time, and he was working in the comic strip department, he told me that he's the guy that had to finalize it. So there you go. But it's absolutely amazing working on something that was around since like the 1930s.
Yeah. I mean,
I never thought I'd do this.
Old school hero.
Yeah, really old school hero.
Really
Yeah.
just everything.
Gosh.
Harlem Hellfighters. How did that come about?
Oh, that's when I was working for Avatar Press. That was like back in like 2012, 11.
Okay.
And I was doing stuff for them. Uber.
Yeah.
Was one of the books.
Oh, you did Uber?
Yeah, I did. I did the first. Isn't that wild?
That whole
the
thing
concept
is
was crazy.
Because it reminded me a little bit of The Boys.
Yeah. Yes. It had sort of like the same feeling. You had these guys that took the super soldier formula and ended up, working for, like the Nazis. And
then I think the United States created their own. And it just kind of spurred on from there.
Right. Yeah. The creators that did it for the Nazis went off to England and gave it to Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And then the Japanese got it, the Americans got it.
That's an insane book.
So
it's insane.
So it was like all these super powered guys and women were actually on the front lines fighting World War II, and it was insane. I was on the book for about 8 issues with Cannon White, who was the penciler. And his stuff is absolutely incredible, and his stuff is incredible, like now. As a matter of fact, we sold out on this book.
Oh, okay.
We had it here.
I mean, I did buy one issue a while back, so that makes sense.
Yes. Oh, absolutely incredible working with him on that. But with Harlem Hellfighters, they asked me if I was interested in doing it since I was working with Kanan on Uber.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not have an extra book that had the graphic novels, it's got to be over 100 some odd pages. But it was great because it's like unknown history.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it until I started working on the book.
So, I mean, that's always good. I mean, even if you never knew it from before, it's always good to know the history.
Yes.
Just like be surprised, like, oh, I didn't know about this.
Exactly. And it was absolutely amazing. I didn't realize until like a few years after I did the book, like how well received it was and how many people
really
looked at it. And it's in high schools, it's in colleges, it's all over. And I'm really glad I worked on it. It's absolutely amazing what African Americans did at that period of time. Just because they wanted to fight for America, but America didn't seem to be interested in wanting us to do that. So
it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But it's been good talking to you, man. Like I said, this stuff, I grew up on it, and it's always dope to kind of see your favorite artist, inker, just whomever that you intake their material. Be like, no, I gotta get this material. I gotta get it.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time, taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. And we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Bye.